Now with Dave Brown presents Road to the Paralympics. Co-host Alex Smyth sits down with para-athlete Nicholas Bennett, paraswimmer.
Nicholas, thank you so much for joining me.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Can you please describe for someone who doesn't know your sport and then your classification specifically?
I am a paraswimmer. I am an S14, which is part of the II classification or the intellectually impaired classification. Which usually encompasses ASD down to Down syndrome.
And for swimming, it's such a unique sport in the fact that you're always competing in not only different kind of types of races from different strokes, but also distances. How do you kind of prepare yourself for those different distances and types of races?
Well, depending on the day or of the competition, we usually stick to one race. So if it's say like a 200 individual medley, we just focus on every stroke we do. Or if it's a longer event like the 200 or a short event like the 100, we just focus, we change the mileage, not that much, of course, but we just slightly tweak it. There's kind of like a baseline we have.
This is going to be your second Paralympics. You competed in Tokyo, in which you made 3 finals. How do you build from, and what lessons can you take from your time in Tokyo and bring it into Paris?
Well, I think Tokyo is quite unique in its own, with it being COVID, and well, the training was certainly a little different. My top placement was 5th, so we're definitely going to try and make the podium this year, but we're just going to try to replicate what we did Worlds last year. Maybe try break a world record in the 200 IM, but we'll see what happens. It's always the moment of is what really matters. Can't speculate right now.
Absolutely. What are you most excited about when it comes to the fact of competing in Paris?
Well, I find it is the competing part that is exciting. I love racing. And also seeing everybody at their peak performance level of the year is just amazing. You also get to hear the stories of your competitors. It's also the camaraderie you have with it.
You have a unique relationship with your coach. It's one that is not often found in the high performance sports world. She happens to be your sister. Like, what does it mean to have her by your side as your coach?
Well, it certainly is unique to have her as my coach, but I tell this to everybody. I wouldn't trade for anything. I know that she has my well-being in all her thoughts and decisions as a coach. So I trust her full-heartedly.
And that relationship is so important to have just for any athlete and a coach, let alone, for yourself with it being your sister. But what does your sister bring to the table as a coach for you?
Well, she's not that old, to be honest. She's only 4 years older than me, about 24. So, but she's experienced quite a bit of swimming. She was a swimmer before me, so she knows the struggle that there's not a long period between her being a coach and a swimmer, so she still remembers the struggle that the athletes face and also how difficult everything is. So she knows everything what the swimmer is thinking of, basically.
Well, that insight is so important, right? Because she has that lived experience as a competitor, as that swimmer. She can bring that to you. She knows what you're going to be kind of dealing with when you're in the water and when you're out of the water after those races. What does it mean to have her by your side when you are competing in those big moments and you are competing at those Pan Am Games and the Paralympics?
It's a certain unique stress. It's not a bad stress. It's just we want what's best for each other. So it's like I want to do good to show that what she's doing is the correct way to do things, and she wants me to win because she puts so much effort into it. But she also just wants me to succeed as a person.
That's so key. What do you love about swimming most?
Well, what I love for swimming is just the amount of effort I put in. I see even a slight bit of success, like make it 1/100 of a second off my time, make it 10th. It's just the chance to improve myself is the biggest thing I love about swimming.
What are your hopes for Paris?
Well, I think everybody who goes to the Paralympics hopes for a podium placement, but of course there might be a possibility, might not be, so we'll see what happens.
What does it mean to be able to don that maple leaf and have it on your uniform, or have those jackets, have that crest, and represent Canada?
Well, I'm honored, to be honest. There's about 40 million of us Canadians, so and just be one of the select few who gets to represent us on the world stage. It's unimaginable, to be honest.
Nicholas, thank you so much for this.
Thank you for having me.
Now with Dave Brown, weekdays at 9 a.m. Eastern on AMI-TV. Watch highlights, now streaming on AMI+.